I got 120 pieces of charcoal to show you it's not okay, man. Welcome to Rock-N-Brews episode 4, a Union Station Brewing Company podcast. I'm John Wheat. I own the brewery.
And I'm Thomas, and I work at the brewery.
And we have had one hell of a week.
It's been a pretty busy week for us.
I think the only way we can talk about it is if we drink some beer. So
I think so.
I see you brought something, because that's our new segment.
So we brought something. Have you ever had this before?
I have not had this before. I can't wait.
It's a very, very stiff can. So I brought Sapporo.
Sapporo. Nice.
It's like a Japanese beer.
It's a beautiful can.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like fluted.
Yeah, it almost looks like a Zeppelin.
Let me pour one up for you.
It's pouring. There's no fizzies.
No fizzies on this one.
I mean, there is. It's not flat. So we're definitely going to need beers.
It's a thick can. Feel that can.
That is not one you're going to crush on your head.
No, you're not going to crush it. Like, try to squeeze it and crush it.
It must be the ribs.
Is that surprising? Rib for your pleasure.
Oh, jeez. Oh, my God.
Here we go.
Oh, boy, here we go.
Here we go.
Welcome up, y'all. Hey, grab a beer, kick back with us, because we got some shit to talk about this episode.
So that's good stuff.
First sip impression is nice. It's kind of sweetish.
Sweet mellow. Not a really very tough aftertaste. It's very...
Yeah, that's nice. It's almost like a triple, like a Belgian triple kind of flavor. That's nice. Try to see 5%.
Only thing I can read on the back is the government warning.
Yeah, bold print.
They had to do it to get it from Japan to here,
That's right. Yeah, 5%.
That'll have to go on the beer shelf.
And it's 22 fluid ounces.
It's a weird number for
us.
It's like a pint.
1 pint 6.
1 pint 6.
I'm not mathing this episode.
Yeah, you can't math. You've lost those privileges.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll put it up on the shelf. So fun fact, I don't know if you've seen the backlog to go on the shelf, but we've run out of space.
Really?
Yes.
Gone
Space. Yep.
So we're going to need some more shelves built.
We are. Which sounds like a really big thing, but really it's just like a 1x4 screwed into...
Another 1x4?
Another 1x4 screwed into the wall.
But you would never tell when it's hanging up that high.
No, not at all. Yeah, so we got to either extend it down to the left or start another shelf over top. But we're
going to figure it out.
It's going to look kick-ass when we're done. We have a backlog of 3, and then when that pineapple is gone, 4.
Yeah.
And Curtis said he would bring us each a flavor next time.
Oh, that'll be good.
I can't wait.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah. So you ordered, what did you order? Cotton candy?
Cotton candy, I think.
Yeah.
Or blue raspberry or whatever.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's right. Yep. Yeah. So that'll be awesome. I need to make a correction. Last week we were talking when Rochelle, who was next to us at the Macon Beer Fest, I mentioned her sister's company, and I was way wrong about that. It's Sweet Maddie's Cookies on Demand. So that's the name on Instagram. So you can go look that up, and basically you can order the cookies. It comes as dough balls, and you just open them up, put them on the cookie sheet, and cook them and go. So you can literally be like, oh man, I could go for a chocolate chip cookie right now. You don't need to make a dozen. You pull out a ball, you slap it on the tray, and you cook it.
I have a fantastic idea.
Oh, hit me.
We should get some of that cookie dough.
Yes.
Make it here, and pair it with one of the beers, and do it on the podcast.
Dude,
that's a good idea, right?
That is a good idea.
I mean, I'd go for some cookies right now, to be honest with
you. Yeah. With the Sapporo? Oh, yeah. All right, I can make that happen.
Yeah,
I can totally make that happen.
We could definitely do that.
Absolutely. Done.
Supporting local businesses.
That's
one
right.
business at a time.
One business at a time. Yes. Oh, yeah. I mean, we are actually, because we ran out of tortilla chips, and I messaged Brittany over at El Dorado, and I bought some of their tortilla chips.
Which they're phenomenal.
So
anyways.
We had nachos last week. We were serving nachos using their chips. Unfortunately, I had already ordered 4 cases of regular chips because I was freaking out in the moment. So once they're done, then I think we might just partner up and use their chips.
I think it's a really good idea.
It's cool. Businesses supporting businesses. So we don't have any listener feedback, y'all. Are you guys listening? Hello, is this thing on? There were no comments on Facebook.
On anything?
For episode 3. Nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe we need to start asking questions on Facebook for people that don't listen or something.
I mean, it kind of surprises me that
With all the shit we
with
talked
all
about,
the
nobody
stuff
had
with no,
anything to
yeah,
talk-
nothing.
Nothing.
Not even like, hey, your audio quality was shit last week.
Yeah, thanks for doing your best for trying to clean it up.
Yeah, which took you hours.
It did. It really did.
Took you a long time.
Yeah. So I know our buddy that I'm going to talk about in a second is a sound engineer, so I might just pay him some free beers to come down and
Edit my shit.
either edit the shit or just show me the
It's
right
really
way to
not
do all
much
this.
to edit because we just leave this thing rolling the entire time.
Yeah.
We don't ever cut anything out.
I will cut out the that I just did because I say a lot. I try not to.
You're not cutting it out now.
Well, that would be weird, yeah. But I do that a lot, and so I try to continually not say that. So yes, we're gonna. Oh man. So there was no comments on Facebook or whatever related to episode 3, but I talked to my dad.
Yeah.
And if he could have high-fived us through the phone, he would have high-fived us through the phone.
So he's listening.
He is listening.
My parents are listening.
My parents are listening.
Mine are listening too.
Yeah, it's awesome. And he said he was impressed with our drinking abilities at Making Beer Fest.
I mean,
because we drank all day at the fest, and then we went to the brewery, and then we went to the bar, and we did some shots and beer at the bar, and then we went to another bar, and then we went home.
yeah, that was a
long day. Yeah, I got back here, my liver is like, send me beer, I'm lonely. I didn't know what to do. Podcast news.
huge podcast news.
Huge podcast news.
Absolutely huge.
Yes, we are doing our best for democracy, spreading democracy, and stomping out communism. We have one download in Russia.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
It could have been a bot. I have no idea, but
apparently we're just
someone-
interracial now.
International.
Interracial.
We're
same
inter
thing.
something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, but so yes, we have a download in Russia. Again, could have just been a botnet that latched onto the URL, but damn.
Or someone with a VPN.
VPN, yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, they're probably streaming. It was Keith.
Probably.
He was probably streaming it. He was like, "Oh, let me download the podcast
Yeah.
while I'm here."
That's probably exactly what it was.
Yeah. So anyway, that was kind of cool. That was pretty funny. This is the first time I really looked at our downloads, and we've had 222, which sounds like a lot and doesn't sound like a lot at the same time.
222 for a small town of Jessup, you know.
For 3 podcasts, that's pretty good for 3 podcasts.
I mean, I feel like that's
it's almost
increasing.
100 an episode,
Right.
so that's good.
So it kind of makes it worth it, you know.
Yeah, and we
That's
really
the one
haven't.
in Russia.
Plus Russia, yes, because we're interracial.
I wonder if they're over there. I wonder if they're over there thinking like, these guys are so weird.
No, they're thinking, how do we get their beer?
Yeah, right.
And then they hear all the shit about the distributors and like, we're never going to get their beer.
We're never going to get their beer.
So I was looking at the statistics, and interestingly, it ranks the listening apps and devices and whatever that y'all are listening on. Podbean is the number 1, probably because we have the QR codes here, and it's the easiest, really. You know, if you don't listen to podcasts, when you scan the code, it comes up with a little player. iHeartRadio, I was surprised, is
Really?
number 2.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, really?
Like I've heard commercials on
iHeartRadio.
Yeah, that's what the jingle.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
heard the jingle.
Yeah.
I just have never really like logged on, you know.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I listen to almost all the time, just for radio stations. And then followed closely by Apple Podcasts and then Spotify. So Spotify was actually number 4 in the list, and then it just dwindles down. From
Yeah.
there. Yeah, but
Which I'm surprised because you would think Apple Podcasts and Spotify would be the two.
I
heavy
really
hitters.
thought Spotify would be up there. But again, I mean, if we have customers in here,
that have already listened on one platform, they're probably just going to continue listening on the same platform.
yeah, but then new customers, like the QR code when on the back of our shirts went to the Spotify or the Podbean website that we
true.
have. The QR code here goes to the Podbean website.
You know, I just thought about
What?
what if someone come to the Macon Beer Fest from Russia and scanned our QR code?
Oh shit!
Like I'm thinking about that now. Like who found this in Russia? Unless it's some 21-year-old that's in the parents' basement. I mean, trying to figure out what I could listen to.
You're really
in the US.
stuck on this, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I am. I just think it's cool. That's
I
all.
did too.
Interracial.
I hope it's real. I hope it's real. I did find a comment which was really interesting because I can't find this in Spotify, but I have a screenshot because Keith showed me his phone after he commented on our episode. So this comment is somewhere in limbo. I don't know if it's queued up and I have to bless it and like approve the comment or whatever. But it was after episode 2. He and Red had the outlaw that went bad, the warm outlaw,
okay.
during that whole CF with Savannah and whatever. And he's like, yeah, they screwed you all. Time for a new beer distributor. Love the stories. So since we dug that out, that was actually supposed to be on last podcast, but so it's this one. So Keith, man, you got a wood coaster and $20 gift certificate. And then probably some free beer because we're going to talk about some sound engineering stuff.
Maybe yeah, we can work something out.
So come on down next time you're down. We'll hook you up with that stuff. That was pretty cool. And since he mentioned distributors, we have more distributor news.
I love this.
We need to make this a segment and have like a little jingle.
How did the distributor
dumbassery, or something like that. So interestingly, plot twist, Savannah come in clutch. Maybe it's clutch. Maybe it's just maybe they're just doing their job.
Are they earning your respect back?
No.
Are they earning your business?
Yes, because I'm giving them money for liquid alcohol. Yes. So we ran out of cider this past weekend. I really, really need a cider. I have one going, but it isn't going to be ready in time, quickly. So I'm going to bring in a cider. I always get kegs. We had Ace pineapple cider for a while, and of course they didn't have that in stock because they rarely have anything in stock, which is one of my biggest beefs with all the distributors. And so he found a cider, and I was like, okay, is that a 15-gallon, or a 5-gallon? What are we looking at? He goes, oh no, that's in cans. I'm like, when have I ever ordered cans?
Not very often.
No, I got that. Oh, we got to talk about Narragansett deal sometime.
Oh my God,
another podcast. That was great. But we ordered cans from Narragansett, and we still have Narragansett here, which is a really solid beer.
I mean, how many?
And then
did you actually order
50 cases. I guess we're going to talk about it now. So he hits me up, and I guess we were looking for a light beer, and distributor says, I have this deal on Narragansett, and Thomas freaking loves.
I love Narragansett. I've had it since I was a young little Chad.
Yeah, since before he could legally drink.
Yeah, probably.
And so I found out that I could get this. I was like, absolutely. What's the cost per case? So he tells me, and I was like, I'll take 50 cases of it. And he was like, for real? And I was like, yes, 50 cases, done. Bring it. I'll be here, whatever. And just watching them unload it was hysterical.
So 50 cases.
50 cases.
24 pack.
24 times 50.
16 ounce.
There were 16 ounce cans.
That's too much math. Too many numbers for you right now. I get it.
Stop, man. I'm not mathing this. I'm just telling you what showed up.
How many gallons of beer is that, Joe?
Shut up.
Okay.
I can't even tell you how many cans that is off the top of my head, dude. So just shut up. So to stop. Y'all can't see this.
In my head.
Again, sponsor the show. Give us money. We'll get you cameras, and you can see all the shenanigans that happen off camera, off mic. But he just side-eyed me, and I could tell he was doing the math, and he was going to spit out, give or take a can. I can hear it already. Only he wouldn't give or take a can because I know damn well he'd nail it. So anyway, all of this beer showed up, and they
1,200 cans.
Shut up.
Give or take one can.
Yeah. So they wheel this in on dollies, and interestingly, it had been warm and then cold, and I guess temperature is a thing, but a lot of the cardboard, was really flimsy, so we had a hard time getting it in and out of the, stacked in the right spot. Right. I actually had to move a bunch of stuff around in the walk-in. I had a pallet in there that then we hand stacked all of the beer on. So we have had a lot. We don't have a whole lot left.
A couple cases, maybe.
Yeah. So come on down. It's $5, 16 ounce. Shut up. Numbers. $5 a can, 16 ounce cans in Narragansett.
Crush it like Quint.
Crush it like Quint. Yeah.
It was actually used in the Jaws movie.
He drank a Narragansett in Jaws, and during Shark Week we had a special going on, and it's still going. Still $5.
Still $5.
Just because we can.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty solid beer. Wasn't going to talk about that at all, but anyway,
we added it on the fly.
That was one of the few times I've actually got cans. So he doesn't have ciders in any kegs. So this time again, I bought cans of cider. So we'll just be opening those up. If you want to pound a can of cider, go ahead. Otherwise, we'll pour it into a nice glass for you. That's coming tomorrow. Supposedly tomorrow. Our IPA kicked, and IPAs are super popular. So I asked for IPAs. What IPAs do you have in kegs? Oh, I got this. Okay, cool. Is that a 15? Oh, we don't have that in stock. Why did you tell me you had it? I understand that you, quote, carry it, but you don't have it in stock. So don't tease me.
Or they ship it to the wrong location, right?
Yeah.
It's only available where?
Yeah. Oh, no, that's a different one.
That's a different
distributor.
one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's Savannah.
Oh.
Or, no, it's Georgia Crown. They can pound sand. Because I found, I'm texting them, I was like, hey, do you have this IPA and this cider? No, we don't. We can only deliver those to Atlanta. What?
Atlanta?
Then why in Jessup can I look on Provi and see the entire catalog of everything that you, quote, carry if I can't get it?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me.
I could add it to my cart and I can press order. What are they're gonna call me? Yeah, we can't do that.
Yeah, I don't understand that at all.
I don't. Freaking Georgia and their alcohol laws are driving me bananas because I guess everything is segregated. Can I say that? Beer segregated? I mean, it's sectioned off.
Yeah, Bud Light can stay with the Bud Light.
But yeah, well, yeah, they can definitely stay with the Bud Light. But I guess we can only get certain beers in our county. And I don't know who signs off on that.
That's weird.
But it's driving me bananas.
That's why you brew your own beer.
Yeah. So back to Savannah, I was like, okay, well, what IPAs do you have in kegs? And so he tells me, and I was like, okay, well, I got that. And then he goes, I have Jai Alahai.
Jai Alahai.
Yeah. And
we both have that. We know exactly what that is.
Yes, and I have a bucket sitting on my bar of it. It used to be a tip bucket. Now I think there's forks in it. And my brain is quickly processing this, and I'm like, you mean High-Lie? Oh, well, yeah. Like, oh, if you're going to pronounce it that way, yeah, that's what it is.
That's what it is. But that's actually what it is. It's High-Lie.
It's High-Lie.
It's a game, I think.
Yes, yes. Native American game.
Yes.
It's like lacrosse.
Cigar City.
Way more brutal. 100% more brutal than that. Yes, but yeah, Cigar City. Yeah, so I think I'm getting a small keg of High-Lie.
Hopefully they didn't charge you for 15 gallons and they bring you 5.
Don't even start. They're charging me for a big keg, bring a little keg.
Yeah, and still charge you the same amount.
Yes.
Less beer, same amount.
We'll see tomorrow sometime. All of this is supposed to show up on top of more Outlaw because it's a really solid light beer we talked about before. But I'm just so done with distributors, man.
Yeah, I think we need to find some new ones. If anybody's listening that works for a distribution company, come drop off your
business card. Yeah. There's 2 other ones, but I'm sure they're batshit crazy too. There's United and Southern Eagle.
Yeah,
I think those are the other 2. There might be one other one. I can't think of their name. I know there's at least one that doesn't deliver down this far south. So, which just drives me bananas too.
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird.
It's not like I'm in Florida or something. Oh man, what next?
Strange but true.
Strange but true. I go check the mail.
Right.
And there's an envelope.
Okay.
Open the envelope. There's 3 photos of my building. 2 people working on the building. They look like they were maybe priming an area or covering an area with concrete and priming it or something. On ladders from 2000, and I know it's 2000 because it's timestamps down in the corner. No notes about who these people are. No letter. No scribblings on the back.
Nothing
at all.
Just
nobody texted me a message. Nobody messaged me on Facebook or any other platform saying, "Hey, dude, I dropped these." Nobody has said anything to any employees that I'm going to drop off photos. No idea where these came from.
But it was 90. What year?
2000.
2000.
00. I can't remember. I thought they were right here by us. I don't remember what month they are, but they're working on the building. And there's a full shot of the building, and it looks beautiful. So I don't know if they had prepped it and just recently painted it.
Right.
There's a really cool awning over where the garage door is.
Yep, I saw that.
And it's literally suspended by the giant-ass eye hooks that are up further on the building, which is really cool. I would love to reproduce that. Probably wouldn't cost that much to build, but it was neat. Big cables going up. And yeah, I have no idea why it's cool.
Well, if you dropped off the pictures and you're listening, come in and we'll talk about
somebody who dropped off.
Yeah, I just want to know where they came from.
Yeah, I do too. And I'd love to give credit to the person that gave them to me and to the people in the.
We should just frame them and put them up in the brewery somewhere.
Oh, they'll go up somewhere. Yeah,
that'd be cool.
I have a whole stack of stuff I've been meaning. I was going to do that with this table over here. You can't see me motioning, but if you're here, there's this black table in front of the brewing process sign. And I was going to do for our anniversary, lay out a bunch of old photos and things from bygone eras and weird things that I found here, newspapers and whatnot. So I guess we'll move on to the next segment, customer shit.
Phew. It's been a long week.
Oh my gosh, it has.
So we had a little vandalization up here, huh?
Yeah, and for the most part, yes. Somebody clearly went from the bathroom into tracks, grabbed a marker, went back into the bathroom, drew a smiley face, and wrote Fred on the toilet seat.
Fred. A little face on there.
I don't know any Freds. I actually do not.
That's weird.
I'm old, and I honestly don't.
I've heard of the name Fred, but I just don't physically know.
I don't think. Yeah. Yes. I don't even know any customers named Fred. So,
if you're Fred and you're listening and you brought up my toilet seat,
yeah,
I just don't come back.
So, it's a simple thing. It's just a little Sharpie, right? But it pissed me the hell off.
Did we get it off?
It's 99% off. If you look close, it's discolored. You can still see a little bit of orangey there or whatever. So I posted this to Facebook and I was pissed. I called them ass hats, because we basically took away all the markers. You can't find a marker in here anymore because I can't trust people.
Right.
And not only that, it wasn't just that. People draw penises on the wood over in tracks. They're only supposed to sign their name if they get a bullseye, but they do penises, they write they write cuss words over there. It's family friendly, y'all. We can't have this.
The podcast is not family friendly.
Oh yes, I forgot that disclaimer. This is not.
It's not.
But they'll write crap up on the walls that then we have to go either scribble out or sand off, and it's just more work. And if I had paid a contractor to come build this place, it would be less of a slap in the face. But I built this fucking brewery. And so for you to do that, it's a direct insult to me, right? So I post this to Facebook and everybody's like, oh, that's terrible. Here, do this, use a magic eraser, do this, use.
People are just trying to help.
Oh yeah, which was fantastic. But then somebody posts this image of a note thing about getting butt hurt. And it's like, oh, I can forget this. Next time it's going to really piss me off. And all these check boxes about getting butt hurt. And you're damn right I'm butt hurt about it because it was a direct insult to me. So it's super petty. I get it. I can stand back and be like, dude, relax. But I was pissed off.
I know. I get it.
Oh my gosh. I ranted.
You put your heart and soul into something.
I ranted
and then people
in
turn
our
around.
text group about it. And then just went straight to Facebook, man. I didn't even have a beer and cool off. I was pissed. And I get it.
Sometimes the worst thing you can do is just go right to Facebook.
I know. I should have just walked away.
Right.
But whatever. It is what it is. This is the new John.
No, the new John
is 2024 John who doesn't give a flying fuck about anything. That was I think that was last week.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that just bled into
the week from hell, John.
Oh my gosh.
It was busy and the business was good.
The business was fantastic, yeah.
But I will be straight up with you. Train's coming by.
Train's coming.
Hold on. Take a short intermission.
Yeah. Union Station Brewing Company, 106 Southwest Broad Street, down by the tracks.
Very close to the tracks.
Very close to the tracks. All right. I think you're good.
All right. So we had a very, very...
That's going to be really funny.
Yeah, what?
I'm sorry if these mics didn't even pick it up. Last time we were up in my office and it was right there.
And it was picking it up.
And these do some noise canceling crap.
Yeah.
So anyway,
they're going to look at us like we're crazy.
I'll just pull it in the background. Go ahead.
Yeah, put one in the background. So, week from hell. I mean, after the shenanigans with the toilet and the Sharpie,
yes,
you bring on Friday and Saturday, and we could talk about it for an entire episode of how much shit went on here.
Oh my gosh.
Business great, music great, kitchen was popping, beers were flying, and it was fine.
Yes. From a business standpoint, it was great.
But it wasn't great to deal with.
No, it was not great to deal with. And
I was over at about 10 minutes into the first shift on Friday because you've got people that had asked to make a party a long time ago. And, you're working out details with them, trying to get them, the best reservation to accommodate them. And They don't get back in touch with you. Don't confirm nothing. Don't want to do it.
Nothing is confirmed.
Nothing's confirmed. But then they turn around and show up here. We're not prepared.
Yes.
We have nothing going on.
And I love it. I mean, I like them. It was a birthday party, and I like the couple. I love the kids. I love, you know what I mean? Like, I love it. But it was so inconvenient because I wasn't ready. I wasn't staffed for it. I didn't have the food for it. Shit wasn't prepped in the kitchen for it.
None.
So we literally were running out of stuff, and I'm like madly remaking coleslaw which I had all the stuff for, thank God. But like the coleslaw was done, the nacho cheeses were done, the beer cheese. You know what I mean? Like it was all running out. I wasn't prepped for it because I had no idea that it was still happening. And when it was happening, it was going to be reserved in the back area, which was too much money. I get it for a kid's birthday party.
So let's just seat them right in the tap room, right in the middle of the tap room.
Again, I'm not trying to be a dick about that.
No,
not at all. It was inconvenient, and with a little more planning, it would have been better for them because we were running food back and forth through the party,
right?
And I would have moved tables around to leave an aisle for us along the wall,
right?
And I don't know why I'm doing all these hand signals because nobody can see a damn thing I'm doing except Carrie, who's recording some of this. So anyway, so. The party was great. Everybody had a great time. It just added some stress.
Yeah, it did.
And
mind you, Becca wasn't here either.
That's right.
So we didn't even have that.
So we were down a
person.
We were down a person. That's yes. That was another thing. Like I would have pulled somebody else in, and at the time I realized it was happening. It was too late.
Oh yeah.
To do that. But yeah, so that's Friday. Yeah, that was Friday.
I don't even know where to start with Saturday.
So Saturday, again, I love this. I'm not trying to be a dick at all. From a logistics, organizational standpoint, I know that you can feel my pain. Because when somebody comes in to do something, I want it to go off without a hitch. I want them to have a great experience. I want everybody involved in that thing to have a great experience. And when that doesn't happen, I take it personally. Oh man, somebody's complaining because this isn't right. Well, that falls on me. When it doesn't, because it's their damn event.
Right.
I'm just the bowl that they're putting their chili in, right?
Yep.
And how many times did I say, not my beans, not my chili?
That's right, all the time.
That whole damn weekend, man.
A lot.
But it wasn't true because I was still stressing about everything. So we do a lot of paint and sips, kid kind of things or whatever. And so we had a kids paint and sip Halloween party kind of thing, and they come dressed up, and we're going to do a costume contest after the whole thing or whatever. And again, I love it. I love that this is family friendly. I love everything. This was also a logistics nightmare because we thought she had 3 kids coming.
To paint.
Yes, and she had 20, and she was caught off guard. This wasn't her fault at all because
people not RSVP
she didn't know. I mean, I guess her ordering system didn't let her know that people were still signing up. It was supposed to turn off at 6 or something, and they kept signing up. So she found out last minute, so she wasn't fully prepared for all of the kids either. And unfortunately, and I didn't see if people were frustrated or whatever, but the canvases weren't ready. Usually she comes in and they're already drawn out, they're traced or whatever, and the kids just paint. And there was a good while where people were still tracing things and that sort of thing. So it slowed down that whole process. And it's just this woman. I don't know if she brought any help. I don't remember seeing anybody because I don't think she was prepared really for all the kids.
Yeah.
So usually we, depending on the size of the group, we put them up front. And there's a lot of light. It's great for painting right there in front of the tap room area, in front of the window. And with all the kids, we had tables and tables and tables, and it took up a good portion of that tap room.
Right.
And had I known there was 20, I would have shoved them over here, kind of out of the way of the normal customers, because the normal customers had to come in and kind of walk through that group to get to the bar, to order a drink. And there's just a lot of background talking going on. It was louder. I don't know. It just wasn't ideal.
Did the kids make a mess with the paint? That's what I want to know.
I didn't see any paint on the floor.
Well, that's good.
And she brought in her own tables, so which meant we just had to jockey around a table or whatever. And again, I'm not complaining at all. I wanted it to go better than it did. But that's my stressing over her event. You know what I mean? I think she was happy with how things went, so I really shouldn't worry about it. But so that sort of started the day.
Mm-hmm.
That was at 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock.
I was prepping wings in the kitchen.
Those wings tasted great, John.
I hate you so much. I got 120 wings.
And
I was going to tell you how many dozen, but I don't feel like doing that right now.
10 dozen, John.
I know, 10 dozen wings.
Give or take a dozen.
Give or take a dozen wings. I got 120 wings, brand new recipe. I'm following it verbatim. I'm not improvising at all. So they're all prepped to go on the smoker. They go on. Everything's great. I go out. I flip them. Everything's great. Next thing it says to do is to crank up the smoker to 450 for about 10 minutes to get everything all super crispy, and then they're done. And this is going to be perfect timing for the football game that was going to be on. We'd have some left over for the baseball game that night. This was like a thing. I was super excited.
Because we've never done wings before.
We haven't done wings at all. No.
Right.
I was excited to do wings, period. I wanted to see how they went. We had a few flavors to try, all that sort of stuff. So I have, my smoker is app controlled. I can manage it, watch things from my phone, whatever. So my phone is sitting there on the counter in the kitchen while I'm prepping other stuff for the night. And all of a sudden I get this notification that says, probe 3 has reached critical temp.
Really? That's what it said?
That's
you never
exactly
told me this.
No, it was like exclamation point red.
Because when I walked in, you were just back there in the smoke shack just pouting. And I was like, what's wrong? And then I look over your shoulder, and all I see is just charred wings. I mean, they were blacker than asphalt.
Oh my gosh. So I go back there, and smoke is pouring out of the smoker, as a smoker should, if it's working properly, right? And I open it up, and flames leap out like I've never seen in my smoker in my life. And they are, like, no joke, hitting the rafters. I have metal roof, but I have wood, pressure-treated wood rafters, but then I have plain old pine cross beams for the metal roof, whatever. I'm legit worried this shit's going to catch on fire. Like, it is licking that wood. So I go in and I grab fire extinguisher. I understand that it's a grease fire, and I have grease extinguishers. So I'm standing there looking at it, looking at the grill, looking at the flames, worrying about burning everything down, thinking, fuck, I don't want to clean up anything that's going to come out of this fire extinguisher.
You also didn't know how to pull the...
That's a whole different thing. It was like the zip tie from hell. So I come back in, I go to Trax, I grab the squirt bottle. Again, I know it's a grease fire. Water doesn't do anything for grease. But I get in there and I'm like squirting. So it is actually stopping. It's just pushing the grease around, kind of consolidating it. So it is helping. I understand this isn't going to put this out. All right, this is Fire 101. I'm not a total dumbass. I am a dumbass because for other reasons, but like I get it. So I finally get the flames down, and I realize like the wings are gone. There isn't one damn wing that isn't a piece of charcoal. So now I have more briquettes to put in when I smoke some real meat.
Oh, you can actually
recycle it.
Fossil
That'd
fuel.
be yes, I'm recycling. Literally fossil fuel. So yes, so that's done, and a couple other things had happened, which I can't remember. It wasn't.
Well, I come in and you were.
Party. It wasn't just a party. It wasn't just the wings. Like something else happened. And I'm just sitting there, and when he says pouting, I'm just sitting there just overwhelmed with the cluster fuckery that just happened, on top of the stress from the Friday night thing and the party thing that's happening out front, and the couple other little food things that happened, and overwhelmed with all of the things. And I'm just sitting there, and these are the lows that you don't see. And I'm honest to God sitting there like, how the hell did I ever think I could do this? Is running through my head.
Yeah.
And you came in, I must have been there for probably 15 minutes, rethinking my entire freaking life.
Rethinking your entire business strategy.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It was rough.
Should have bought Oklahoma Joe's, baby.
Man.
Those things don't catch on fire now.
Well, I bet I could have caught on fire.
Unless you're red with the My Pellet smoker.
So the upside to a 5-alarm blaze in your smoker is super easy to clean, because you just hit it with a wire brush and everything falls off, because there is not one lick of wet grease in there anymore.
Right.
So it cleaned up really nice, and I smoked everything. I smoked a couple butts
Perfectly
yesterday.
fine, no problem.
Yes.
Well, at least the electronics didn't get fried.
Well, the probes did. None of the probes worked. There's four probes.
They were critical.
They all went critical. Absolutely. And when I plugged them in, The smoker was like, yeah, no. And it's like error because it shows probe 1, 2, 3, 4. It like flips through on the display, and they're all error. So I have 4 new probes coming.
Speaking of kitchen issues,
Yes.
because I guess the smokehouse is kind of the kitchen still.
Yeah, for real.
Remember when Helene came through and we had to take all the meat to my house
Yes.
to get it frozen so that way it didn't go bad?
I do.
Okay.
I do, yes. Thankfully,
Well,
you did not lose power if you didn't listen to that episode.
Yeah. So
And-
it was fine, and don't mind keeping them in there for you at all.
Yeah. Deep
But
freezer.
The
Chest freezer.
Boston butts were soft. Like you had just gotten them a day or two prior to the storm coming through.
Yes. And they were in, yes.
And they were like, it's not
They weren't
vacuum
frozen.
sealed, but they're like in some really tight plastic from like a big distributor.
Right.
And so when you put them in the freezer sideways, I'm thinking, oh, they'll freeze. I got them in. I can get them out easy, no problem. Clearly that wasn't the case. It took me with a crowbar, cursing, yelling, slinging boxes out the house. 40 minutes of trying that. Mind you, I probably have freezer burn all over me because the freezer's still running.
I heard a side story
Oh,
with the throwing boxes out. You
Yeah.
have to tell everybody.
Oh my God. So,
You have to. Y'all, this
Which
is
part?
hysterical.
which part?
About your visitors.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. So, so I'm literally getting pissed, and it wasn't at anybody. It was just the whole situation. Okay. I was just pissed that there was stuff getting, stuck Boston butts in the bottom of my freezer. So I'm frustrated. Carrie's poured water on it, trying to get it out. Obviously, that water is freezing faster than it's melting the ice that's already down there. We had so much boxes on top of this deep freezer. I started throwing stuff outside, whatever. No shit. 20 minutes later, the cops show up at my house. And I'm not talking one. I ain't talking two. And I definitely am talking three, okay? So they show up and they're like, are you okay? Mind you, I'd already moved on past, showered, got ready to go to work. Figured I'd just let the freezer thaw until, I got back. I maybe said a couple swear words inside or, got frustrated, but nothing serious. So they're like, I'm like outside blowing off the porch or whatever, getting ready to leave. And they're walking, I'm like, can I help you? And they're like, yeah, we got a call about you throwing stuff outside the house. And I'm like, and it looked it looked bad because the trash can is right by the back door, and there's shit all in the yard now. So I'm like, what? So I'm thinking one of the neighbors called because they see me throwing boxes and yelling. And they're like, yeah, we got a call. I'm like, I think you have the wrong address. And they're like, no, we don't have the right. We got the right address. It's 1550. I'm like, yeah, it's 1550. They're like, okay. So they're out there, doing their thing. And I'm like, well, it wasn't me, guys. Like, I'm trying to get Boston butts out the freezer. If you guys want to come in here and check it out, you're more than welcome to. Mind you, Carrie's trying to get ready for work. And they're like, well, we need to speak with the woman that lives at the house. And I'm like, is this really necessary? So I have to go in there and get her.
Every domestic.
Yeah.
Oh, God. This isn't necessary. She's fine. She loves me.
So I go to get her, and she's like in the middle of getting ready. She's in the middle of getting ready. She walks outside. I went inside and said, hey, did you call the sheriff's department on me for throwing boxes outside? And she's like, no. She goes, and stop joking with me. She had no idea they were actually out front. So anyway, she goes and walks outside, and they're like, ma'am, are you okay? And she goes, yes, I'm getting ready for work. Like, with the biggest resting bitch face I had ever seen. Like, she was pissed that they showed up. And she's like, I think you guys have the wrong house. So we're literally trying to figure out why. Anyway, long story short, it was a couple of houses away. There was somebody actually throwing stuff outside somebody's house, telling somebody to leave. It had nothing to do with us, but it was just the worst timing in the world.
That's fantastic.
I mean, we laughed about it. I thought it was funny, but...
Wrong address, but still shit going out the door.
Which
makes it even funnier.
Yeah.
I mean, if they just showed up because they heard something and there wasn't stuff all over the yard, that would have been...
wrong address. I was like, was I really that aggressive with the boxes and a couple pieces of wood that were on the counter? Like,
oh yeah, how loud did I yell? Fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck you, bitch! And you're yanking on it, whatever. They think you're beating.
Yeah, I'm like literally trying. I'm trying to get the butts out. So I just said, fuck it. I'll just unplug the machine, the freezer, leave the lid open all night long. I'll get them when I get home tonight. Nope, still frozen. But I left the crowbar, and then the crowbar froze inside the freezer. Like, I didn't have a crowbar for work for 2 days because it was in the freezer. Lamest excuse, why did you not have your tools today? Oh, that's because it's in my freezer. We finally did get them out eventually.
Yeah.
Definitely dented the inside of the freezer.
I mean, I smoked 2 of them yesterday.
Oh, well, hopefully they're good.
In the burned-up grill, yeah.
Yeah. You lost some paint on that thing, too, huh?
Oh, my gosh, yes. I did. It got hot, man. I'm telling you. It was hot. For some reason, I grabbed tongs, and I put on my hot gloves, and I'm trying to pull the chicken off while the flames are going all over. I don't even know why I was trying to save the chicken. I don't know. I was just panicking in that moment.
So aside from the house, aside from the kitchen, what else happened this weekend?
I had to kick somebody out.
That's not the first time.
We have one rule. No, we have a couple rules. I'm not going to lie. We have a couple rules. One of them is keep the political talk to yourself. Now, if we're streaming a game, someone is in charge of the remote control, and this is only until the 6th, till after the election. But if a political commercial comes on, you hit mute. I don't care if it's a K, if it's a T, if it's independent. I don't care what it is. I don't want to hear it.
We don't want to listen to it.
And we don't want to listen to it. I don't care what side you're. I mean, I do, but I don't care what side you're on. When people are here, we're drinking beer, and
leave the rest of the world
if
behind.
That communist wants to come from Russia, who listen to our podcast and drink a beer, you come here with your communist beliefs. That's cool, man. We'll sit here and we'll drink a beer together. I don't want to hear about it, and I'm sure you don't want to hear about my stuff.
You're supposed to leave the rest of the world behind, you know?
So this dude is here, and he's drinking, he's having a good time, and he starts joking about one of the sides. And I'm not going to say what he said. And I was like, stop right there. We don't talk about politics here. He's like, oh, okay, sorry. 2 seconds later, he says it again. And I was like, dude, I'm telling you, knock it off, because we don't do that. I don't care, again, what side you're on. I don't care. We're not talking about that. Okay, fine. A couple minutes goes by, and he says it again. And I was like, this is your last warning, which was 3 warnings, too many. I was like, this is it, man. One more time, and you're gone.
Gone.
Okay? Your tab is already paid. You're still standing here for some reason.
Just starting drama.
Just whatever. And, and I think he was trying to be funny. He wasn't, like, touting any political side. He was trying to be funny. But I knew damn well that there was a customer right next to him who was for the side he was mocking, right? And I don't need a fight. This is the one place in Jessup that hasn't had first responders called yet. I mean, granted, fire department almost showed up Saturday for a whole other reason. But like, the cops have never come here, and I don't need the cops here. And the cops have mentioned to other people at other establishments, oh yeah, we've never had to go to the brewery.
Right.
So like, I'm kind of proud of that, and I kind of want to keep it that way. So anyway, I knew he was frustrating this other person.
Right.
And this had to get shut down. And so I was like, he says it again. I was like, go stand on the sidewalk. If you're waiting for your ride, if you're waiting for your DD, whatever it is, because I didn't know he had a ride. I was like, just go stand on the sidewalk. You are not allowed in here now. I was like, go. And he's like, John for president, right? So now he's still doing political shit, but trying to be funny, saying me for president, whatever. And I was like, get out now. And he just keeps going. And I was, oh my gosh, it got so loud. I'm pouring a beer. And I'm like, it's my brewery.
Oh, I saw you turn around.
It's my rules. You get out now, or I'm going to remove you myself. And everybody just kind of hushes up.
Oh, yeah.
And he finally walks out, and then that was that.
Yeah.
I was just like, dude. So, on top of all this other bullshit, of everything else, I had to deal with that. And I'm not asking anybody else. Like, it's not like I'm mad because you didn't handle it or anything like that. It was just like, I was here. I was handling it. It's my place. It's my rules. It's my place. I can do that. I'm just saying.
I mean, you had to kick. I mean, you did the right thing.
Yeah, 100%. But I mean, there were people after he left. They were like, "Oh yeah, that's how it should be, man." I mean,
yeah, but he came back and apologized at least.
Yes, that's the update. So we are way late recording this podcast. It's Halloween Thursday. Happy Halloween, y'all. But he did come in last night, Wednesday, day before Halloween. Came in, apologized. We made up. We shook hands. It's all good. He had a beer. Everything is cool. He realized he went too far. And again, he was just trying to be funny. And maybe behind closed doors, what he was saying would have been funny. But like here in the public,
not with as busy as we were.
No, especially.
Yeah, come on.
I mean, honestly, even if it was just the two of us, maybe I don't know if I would have let it go anyway. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't want that. I don't want to hear it. I don't want any of it. So that was great.
And we kind of almost had to kick someone else out.
Oh, the bearded guy?
No.
Who? Remind
me. The issue with the couch.
Oh.
That was great.
So,
not really.
When we have music, 90 whatever percent of the time, because I'm bad with numbers, it's just background music, right? It isn't a concert. You come, there's somebody playing guitar, somebody might be singing, somebody might be doing whatever in the corner, you know, and it's there. Occasionally, there's not a whole lot of people talking. Everybody's turned around, watching the music, listening to the music, dancing along, whatever. Well, Saturday, we had the Magnolia Mile out back, and they're a band.
They're a full band,
and that's a damn concert. I mean,
it is a concert.
They bring a lot of energy. They're great. They bring a lot of people. They have a big following, and so there are a lot of people out there dancing, having a fantastic time. Again, which I love. The thing I didn't love was I own a brewery for a reason. I don't have liquor because I don't want that crowd. I don't have cheap beer because I don't want that crowd. And I apologize if you're that crowd, but if you're listening to this, you're probably not that crowd. I like liquor. It's not like I have a big thing against it. It's just that the people that hardcore drink liquor drink away their demons. And I don't need them fighting demons.
So don't pregame, drink liquor, and then come here, buy one beer, and then vomit everywhere.
Well, no, and it wasn't even that. Like, that's happened, but then, you know, said person left and went to do more shots and then came back.
It's kind of, and it's like you know they're doing that.
100%.
Yeah.
Because they say, hey, we'll be back, we're going down for a shot. I mean, like, should I not let them back in then? Like, do I need to do that now? Because I know I could probably list 5 people that do that, you know?
Right.
And again, like, the business, like, I don't want to be a dick about it, but when it comes to a point, it's an issue.
Yeah.
And having legit drunk people here is an issue.
Yeah.
And I'm not a bar. Like, we deal with people that get tipsy, but it's rare that somebody is, like, hammered.
Belligerent.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't want hammered, or else I'd own a bar. Right?
So,
like, beer drunk is different than liquor drunk. Beer drunk makes everybody look pretty and make you think you look pretty.
Right.
Liquor makes you think you're tough and you can beat the fuck out of everybody. Or it just makes you feel sick and throw up. So, this whole story, I'm done giving all the background now to this story. I just had somebody throw up in here. And it wasn't in the bathroom.
I don't ever think, in my entire existence of knowing you, I don't think I've ever seen you so upset and so frustrated as I did Saturday night.
It was terrible.
One thing after another.
It was.
Back
and so
to back
you said
to back.
And you said it perfectly. And I don't know what it is. I joke about we're in a different timeline because some weird shit happened today. And I was like, this isn't my timeline. I don't know what was happening. This is from like 4 years ago.
Right.
But like you said, we have little things happen throughout the week or the month. Little things. And they're no big deal because they're little. But every fucking little thing happened this weekend within hours of each other. And it was like, bam, 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 bam. It was like being in the ring with Mike Tyson, man.
Right.
And, you know, you might take a punch every 3 or 4 days, and you can handle that. But when you get like, bam, 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 it takes a toll.
So really, needless to say, because of all of the drama,
we have
shenanigans going on up here, we've started a new tradition.
Yes, y'all.
And I actually,
I don't know if we can talk about this, but we're going to talk about this.
We're going to talk about it.
And I'll tell you why I don't know if we can talk about it. But we have a new thing called the Vault Visit.
Vault Visit.
Yes.
Which I enjoy.
Yes.
I think we need to go to the vault after this podcast.
I just might. My stress level just talking about this damn weekend is killing me. So my dad, when he came down my parents came down for our 1-year anniversary when we got bitch slapped by Helene, brought me a bottle of Buffalo Trace.
I love Buffalo
Trace. Which is sitting in the vault.
It's great stuff.
And so we had vault visits, and we had three
Yeah,
vault visits.
Three vault visits.
Yeah. And we went and hit that bottle, man.
Yeah, I got to.
And usually, like, we'll just grab a beer and casually drink or whatever.
Sure.
But, like, this called for heavy artillery.
Yeah.
And
we brought in the big guns.
We brought in the big guns. I mean, screw the cup, man.
And it tasted great.
We were just mouthing
it. Was great.
And mouthing it room temperature.
Can't beat it.
It was, yeah. I swear to God, Buffalo Trace got me through the night, man.
Yeah. Vault visits. We're going to have to do
Vault visits, yeah. So if suddenly Thomas and I disappear, somebody in the brewery probably picks us up. That might be you.
And them guys are probably over there doing their vault visits.
If I'm in the middle of a conversation and I walk away and Thomas follows me, you might be the problem.
Could you imagine?
Wait, I'm not done. I'll be back in a second.
I'll be back. I got to get something to
pause. I'll be right back.
Right?
I need something for the rest of this conversation.
I'm 50. Oh, damn. Wow, that's crazy. And they're still talking.
Yes. Yeah. So a lot of this comes down to I built the brewery for a purpose. It is a place for you to come down to share happy news, to share sad news, to get away. If you're angry, if you need to be alone, if you need to be with friends, like, this place is here for you. Okay, we've done a lot of complaining. A lot of this podcast is just like, sounds like a lot of complaining, but like, we honestly do love the customers. And honestly, without your shenanigans, we wouldn't have a freaking podcast. I'd be sitting here talking about how much hops I added to Cogsworth.
No one would listen to that.
Freaking Canyon. So
Tropicana? That's an orange company, John.
Dimension.
Tropicana.
So it sounds, it's a lot of complaining. I get it. But, you know, I do love everybody, and, you know, it's just when it builds up like that, like, you gotta get it off your chest.
Yeah, which is just a good way to do it.
Yeah,
because everybody laughs about it too.
Yeah, so I built this place to be family friendly and accepting and all that sort of thing, and it's a two-edged sword, because people come and they feel accepted, they feel like friendly, they feel like family, you know, they feel familiar, they get familiar with everything, and then with that familiar feeling sometimes comes this feeling of entitlement.
Yeah.
And that just bleeds through to frustration and whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm trying to reconcile, you know, some of that sort of stuff. I think I just need to rein some of it in and call it out right when it happens or whatever. But, you know,
I get it.
It's all good.
It's all
Usually
good.
I say it's all good.
It's all good.
It's all good, question mark?
Yeah, so aside from everything this weekend, this wouldn't be Rock-N-Brews.
It would not
without the Rock or the Brews. But we can check the Brews off the list.
100%.
We just got to talk about the Rock now.
Yes. I was away this weekend, and they were playing a bunch of Halloween music.
Really?
I was there for trivia in a brewery.
Uh-huh.
And another underrated band came up from my era.
Childhood?
Dokken.
Woo!
Yes.
You're old.
I was in high school when Dokken came out.
It was good. I mean, it's good stuff. Very underrated.
Yeah.
It's not really like, and it never hit like the top 10 charts. It wasn't like a boom.
Oh, yeah.
This is the new Def Leppard. It was just more of like a...
Yeah. And so it was really cool the way they did trivia. I took a lot of notes mentally about how he did it. He did 2 sets. It was all Halloween trivia.
Great.
The first was like all history stuff. The second was all movie related. And the third was music related. Now, throughout the entire night, he played all of these songs that then he asked about in the third round.
Right.
Nobody knew that was going to happen. But Dokken came on, and I'm sitting there drinking a beer, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot about Dokken.
Right.
So now I've been listening in between Nickelback songs.
Right.
But it was Dream Warriors from Nightmare on Elm Street. Great. Good movie, too.
Right,
I mean, Halloween.
Yeah.
Grab a beer and watch that movie.
You've seen that movie?
I have.
That's surprising. You know, but I watch movies.
That was way back when I was a kid. I didn't ever respond.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that came out way back. Yeah, I was probably in high school. I forget what year that came out.
Jelly Roll's overrated. I'm just going to say it.
100%.
And we're not talking about the Jelly Roll from Hoops last week. Because that was a duplicate right
there. No, yeah.
With no musical talent.
Right. So I listen to country music.
Sure.
And usually iHeartRadio, country station or whatever, and every single other song is Jelly Roll. And I'm wondering if that's what happened in Nickelback. Like every other song was Nickelback. Like Jelly Roll has 3 or 4 songs
What
out.
a name, though.
Right, Jelly Roll?
Jelly Roll.
Yeah. And so I just think like he's starting to reach critical capacity.
Critical capacity.
Not weight-wise, but like music
both.
bandwidth-wise. Because he
It's
comes
just-
on and I literally just switch the channel.
Yeah,
And I mean, I
it's
kind of like the
annoying.
songs, but depending on my mood, I'm like, dude, I don't want to hear that it's not going to be okay, or whatever his song is. It's going to be okay. I'm like, no, it isn't. If that Jelly Roll sound, I can't.
Bruh.
If that Jelly Roll song came on when I was sitting back there after the whole smoker thing, I'd be like, F you, Jelly Roll. It ain't going to be okay.
You throw him the
I
cereal.
got 120 pieces of charcoal to show you it's not okay, man. So,
Could you imagine? That'd be the last time you'd be on the radio too.
oh yeah, 100%. Yep. So there's another music-y thing that I wanted to show you that I just thought was so perfect, and it's YouTube music related. So YouTube Music does these recaps,
Sure.
right? And I guess I joined or started paying like in March or something. So they have my March to May recap and my June to August recap.
Yep.
So I'm prepping everything in the kitchen when I was like, oh, these cool. They just popped up, and I tap one, and I was like, oh yes, tell me the first song in this list.
That's the song. Burn It to the Ground.
By
Nickelback.
that's right, March to May 24, Burn to the Ground.
Does it tell you how many
Tell
times?
me the first song in the June to August recap.
They'd be the same one, sir.
Same damn song.
So,
That's
does it
right.
tell you how many times you've listened to it or how many hours or anything?
Because
Because I know on Spotify, like every new year, like in the first week of January, they give you your entire year's recap. And it'll tell you, hey, you spent this many hours listening to this group.
that's awesome.
Your most played song was this, and you played it 974 times this year.
Okay, I'm not prepared right now to dig through YouTube Music, but I will.
But
find
I
out.
need the statistics.
I need it now too.
I need to know. I mean, if you had to guess, how many times do you think you've listened to that song?
that song.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I think we're in the 700-800 range.
I was gonna say probably 2, 3.
100?
But I mean, if it
I'm going to say
let's
7.
go back to March,
Yeah.
it could be.
It's a long.
That's like a banger for me.
There's been days where we've listened to it 5 times in a day.
That is, yes. And we listened to it at your divorce party.
Yeah, right?
'Cause- yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, so I thought that was really funny. So I had to. I always have to mention Nickelback.
Right. You can't. Who doesn't love
Because
that?
eventually they're going to hear.
Yeah.
And Chad and his buddies are going to come down, and that will be a concert.
That'll be for real.
I will get new people to run the bar because I'm standing back there.
That's
listening
right.
To play because I'm not serving beer that night.
Nickelback, if you want to perform, come on. Give
That's
us a
right.
call.
Yeah. Anybody know Nickelback?
Yeah, let us know.
Oh
Give us a
shoot! I
connection.
just remembered now that I was going to do the 7 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, and I wasn't prepared. I didn't
Yeah.
prepare that.
We'll
All right,
save
next
it for the next one.
episode. Yeah.
Next episode.
Yeah.
So, speaking of you going on your trip this week and you were playing games in the breweries, I
Nice
think
segue. Nice segue. In my head, I was like, "How's he going to do this?" That was
So
perfect.
yeah, so you were talking about it in trivia, and realistically, we need to get another trivia night in here. We have got
Yeah,
to
we do.
plan it because
Yeah.
Red's Rad Trivia is phenomenal.
It is.
And we get a lot of people come in here. The questions are great. They're not just your, thank God there's not a category for math, but I mean, but realistically, it's always a theme night, and I
Yes.
feel like the Halloween one would have been perfect for
It
it.
would have been, yeah.
It'd been really cool.
He themes the music in between, like while everybody's thinking.
Yeah, and I like that.
That's great. We did an 80s night and made everybody dress up.
Yeah,
it's
it's
was
always
like
about a theme or something
It
like
was
that.
really,
I'm like,
really
yeah,
cool.
this is really cool.
Tiki trivia. Yeah.
Tiki trivia, that one
That
was
was
fun
good.
too.
Yeah.
So, I also think we need to bring back bingo.
We
haven't done bingo in forever.
It's been a hot minute.
It has been a hot minute. I think we need to plan something in the near future, do some bingo. But really what I wanted to talk about was us ordering a bingo wheel with all of the different balls in it with numbers
Yes.
from, China maybe? I don't know where it comes. Obviously it come from China.
It definitely was. Yes.
So we ordered it. Remember it wasn't going to be here on time or whatever? She had to order a different one or something happened.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was like a $20 little bingo wheel.
He's grabbing the box right now.
I'm grabbing the box because the box is absolutely great. If you ever come to the brewery and want to know what this box looks like and to read it, I mean, you'll have an aneurysm just reading it. Bingo Neo. Bingo machine. That's the brand, Bingo Neo. Bingo. It works great, I'll be honest with you.
It's okay.
But when I read the description, it's great. I will do it with no accent, and then we'll do it with an accent.
Oh, shoot.
Okay. So, Bingo Neo, bingo machine. And I swear to God, this is on the box. The only thing on the box in English. Every time, everywhere, everyone enjoy playing the Bingo Neo. It's beautiful and splendid game king of game.
Game king of game.
Game king of game. But it literally says playing the Bing. There's no O, I promise you.
Or
the
G.
Bingo Neo. It's beautiful and splendid game king of game. No periods, no commas, nothing. And I thought that was absolutely hilarious.
Yeah. I always wondered why they don't employ an English speaker.
I think they use Google Translate. But obviously not very well.
Well, not very well. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand that at all.
So that, yes. And, I mean, the ball actually doesn't work very well because it spits little balls all over the place when they come out. And it's actually a mess. Because I ran bingo once, and it was kind of a pain. And then I had another Keith, run bingo because he does it for Elk Club and whatever. And he's like, yeah, this ball is garbage.
Yeah.
Absolute garbage.
Absolute garbage.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we'll use it.
But, I mean, we'll just be walking around. Game king of game.
It is the game king of game.
That's right.
The Bingo Neo.
So we'll be playing Bingo Neo here sometime. We'll have to get that scheduled.
We will. I'm going to close it off today with a joke for you.
Okay. All right. I can't wait.
You have not heard this one.
I have not. No,
okay,
we try to keep these from each other. They're not.
Since it's Halloween.
Okay.
This one's going to be good. Why can't ghosts have babies?
Why can't ghosts have babies?
Yeah.
I don't want to leave a lot of dead air while I'm thinking, but I'm thinking sheets, holes. Ooh. That went a different direction.
Ooh.
I don't know why.
Because they have Halloweenies.
Oh, that's awesome.
Halloweenies. Get it?
I get it.
Okay, good.
No, I don't. Explain it to me.
Well, see what happens is, that's about it. But
when a guy goes,
we had to close it out with a joke on Halloween.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Well, I guess that's about it. Happy Halloween, y'all, and cheers.
Stay tuned for the next episode.
That's right. Cheers, y'all.
Cheers.
Thank you for listening to the Rock-N-Brews podcast. Come visit us at Union Station Brewing Company, 106 Southwest Broad Street, Jessup, Georgia. Union Station Brewing Company, craft beer just got better.